This is the Vetanya Alligator e-bike. It's a fat tire e-bike. It comes with a lot of awesome features for a pretty reasonable price as well. And so in this video, I wanted to review it, share my thoughts on it, and tell you guys how it rides and like those types of things. So let's do it. So some of the e-bikes that I ride and own are the Vetanya Adventure 2 and the Velotric Nomad 1. And I feel like this Vetanya e-bike is a very comparable e-bike to those. That might just give you an idea of what this is capable of and all the features it has. But it is a little bit more affordable. So actually at the original regular cost that this e-bike comes in, I think it's around $2,000. But for like a Black Friday sale, I don't know if they always run sales, but at the time that I'm making this video, the price is only $1,400 for this e-bike. So that's actually a really good deal and a value for everything that this e-bike has. So let me get into some of its features then. Taking a first look at this e-bike, it looks really nice. It has kind of a glossy, shiny kind of paint, but I think it looks really nice. I love how the wires are embedded into the frame. That's always a huge positive for me. I really enjoy that layout. So to me, the bike looks really appealing, but it is a larger bike. So if you are smaller, like maybe 4'8" or 5 foot, this might be a large bike for you. It is a step-through e-bike though, but even the step-through is quite high, as you can see. So it's nice that it has the step-through availability, but it's still a large bike, and I think it comes in at around 75 pounds. Even just taking a look at the frame right here, this is a massive frame, but that's because it has a very large battery inside of here. It's a Samsung 20 amp hour battery that gets you a range of up to 70 to 90 miles on one charge, which is a lot of range for an e-bike, especially at this price point. I also love that it's a fat tire e-bike. The area that I ride in, it's very bumpy and there's a lot of dirt roads. So having these larger tires really helps when you're going over top of rocks or bumps in the crack or anything like that. It really smooths out the riding experience. And it also has hydraulic front suspension to give you some more suspension and cushion as well. But if that's not enough, it also has suspension right here in the seat post actually. See that? Now, I don't know if it's just me because I don't weigh a lot, but this really doesn't do a whole lot for me. I hardly notice it actually compressing. Maybe it's because I'm too light, but when I do notice it, like if I go over top of a big bump, it feels more springy and bouncy rather than actually a cushiony experience. And the seat is actually kind of firm and small, so I don't actually like this seat setup. I'll probably swap it out for a larger, more comfortable seat. But maybe if you're a larger person, over 200 pounds, then this spring post might actually feel very comfortable for you. I'm just lighter, so I don't notice a huge difference with it. Also, speaking of weight, this e-bike has a weight capacity of 400 pounds, so it does accommodate larger riders. And it also has this rear rack, but I don't know the weight capacity of this. It doesn't say anywhere. I weigh like 150 and it looks like it holds my weight, so maybe 150. I don't know exactly. So anywhere probably from 50 pounds to 150, that's probably what this rear rack will be rated for and will be good. But it's nice that it has it. That's just always handy and functional, especially on a fat tire e-bike. I feel like a lot of people use these kinds of bikes for more utility purposes. So if you ever want to haul anything or take it hunting, then it has a rear rack and it has fat tires, suspension, boom. Taking a look at the handlebar setup, it is just a straight, simple handlebar setup. I personally like when they're more curved and more cruiser, commuter friendly. Those are the handlebars that I enjoy. But if you're going to be using this out riding in a field or anything like that, then this handlebar setup is fine. It's not that big of a deal. I just personally like the luxury and comfort of the ones that curve towards you. This also has a twist throttle compared to a lot of e-bikes have thumb throttles. I don't really have a preference one way or another, which one's better or worse. People say that sometimes their thumbs get fatigued if you ride a lot of miles. It's nicer to have, whoa, I forgot it's still on. All right, it works. You can see that. Boom. Maybe I should turn this down. Okay, there. Now it won't run away from me. Okay, where was I? Has a twist throttle. That works. It's operational and functional. It also has hydraulic brakes, which I also use to stop this e-bike, which are really nice. Hydraulic brakes are awesome. For e-bikes at this price range, I love it. I think they're way better than mechanical brakes. They just feel way more comfortable to squeeze, and they're just a smoother stopping experience. So huge fan of that. They opted for a 7-speed Shimano shifter. I personally like those trigger shifters better on some of the higher end e-bikes, but this still gets the job done and there's no issues with it there. The screen here, the display screen, looks fine. It shows you your speed, shows you your battery power on the left, and it also shows you what pedal assist you're in on the right. And it also has your typical odometer, trip, time, all that stuff that you can toggle between with this little buttons right here on the side. It also has a designated headlight button right next to the control panel here, which I feel like is nice because it has a front headlight, and it also has rear taillights here that is nice to help you be more visible at nighttime. And also when you squeeze the brakes, it's going to glow brighter to signal to people that you're actually braking. So I love that on e-bikes. I wish all e-bikes came with front and rear headlights because that's just nice when you're riding at nighttime. It also has a horn. Beep, beep. And then drive past them, you know. Oh, it also has fenders, you see? They're just plastic, but they keep the bike a lot cleaner, especially when you're riding in dirty areas, so boom. Now let's get into the ride experience of what it was like when I hopped on this thing. So the first thing I noticed when I hopped on this e-bike is that it is very fast. It has 5 different pedal assist levels, but they're all on the higher end of the range. Typically when you get in the e-bike, usually on pedal assist level 1, it will be at like 7 miles an hour. Pedal assist level 2 is at like 10 to 11 miles an hour and so on and so forth. But this one, pedal assist level 1 starts you out at 14 miles an hour, which is pretty quick. And then it just goes up from there all the way to 28 miles an hour. So I feel like it's pretty fast, and that just takes you a little bit getting used to, which is really nice if you want to zip around. And it's still surprising that you can go that fast and still get 70 to 90 miles on one ride with this thing. So that is very impressive for this e-bike. Now I do believe if you actually want to change this, you can change it in the settings of this e-bike, and the user manual is actually really helpful, and it tells you what all the different settings do and change. So you can change some of the settings to make it a little bit slower or more reserved if you want it to ride a little more casual and leisurely. Also, since it goes at those faster speeds, I typically found myself riding in the 7th gear, which is the highest one, just to have some resistance in my pedals. So that's something I just wanted to point out as well about the riding experience. I also really enjoyed the comfort when I took this bike out and rode it around. I took it on gravel roads, paved roads, and even my yard, rode around in the grass, and it seemed to be fine. There was no issues with it. So if you want to use this more for like out in your woods or on your property to drive around, I feel like this would be a great option for you. This e-bike didn't struggle at all when I had to go up hills. It has a 750 watt motor, and like I said, a lot of the power is on that higher end anyways, so it was a breeze going up hills and everything like that. It didn't seem to struggle. So overall, I feel like this is a very competitive e-bike for the industry, especially at that sale price. If you can get it at that rate, I feel like there's a lot of awesome features that are included with this that you'll be very pleased with. So I've enjoyed it so far, riding it around. I obviously want to do more long-range tests with it to see how it holds up over time. But as far as my initial thoughts and reviews go, I mean, it was enjoyable. It's a nice e-bike. I really don't have too many complaints. Maybe if this was a trigger shifter, I would enjoy that more. I also enjoy when the batteries sit in the top of the frame rather than underneath. They're just easier and more accessible to get out and put back in. That way you don't have to turn the handlebars and fight with the tire here, and then you got the handlebars, and then it's not a 2-step process because it has a switch right here to unlatch it after you already turn the key. So I personally like when they sit on top of the frame or even on the side of the frame for taking out your battery. So that's maybe a nitpick. And then also the seat post, for my weight, I wasn't able to get the full experience or comfort out of it. So it's a nice feature to have it. There's nothing wrong about it. It's not really a complaint. It just didn't really work that well for me. So those are my thoughts about this e-bike. They have a lot of other e-bikes as well, like step-through frames and other ones on their website. So check them out if you are interested in this exact one. They have different colors and all that stuff, but I'm excited to use it and take it out more on our trails. I personally love fat tire e-bikes, so this is a fun one for me. I'm gonna be loving riding this when it warms up because I live in Michigan and it's freezing out here. So catch you on another one, guys.